Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use step style squat rack, and I also have a weight belt. I'm going to show you how to use a weight belt too, and these things are important when you squat. Now, a weight belt's not really necessary until you start to get heavy with your squats, but I'll still go heavy with my squats. I mean I'm doing sets of 5 now with 235, and my hip surgeon says I'm not supposed to do that. You know, and probably I ought to just back off and be satisfied with that. I think it's a good level of strength for someone that's that's retired basically. And I think that's one of the questions that every person has to ask themselves. You know, what is the level of strength that I want? What's the level of strength that I need? And I think that's going to be different for every person. I used to have a power rack. I bought a power rack from York Barbell Company, and I put it in my dorm room my second year at Colorado State University. And so I could do my squats right there, right in my room, anytime I wanted to. And then I left, and when I went to Southern Illinois University to do graduate work and coach, I couldn't take my squat rack with me, my power rack, so I left it at Mom's, and when I got back to Colorado 7 years later, it was gone. So I had this made. So this is a step style rack, and it's got 3 levels for 3 different levels of lifting, and I use it for bench pressing too. And it's set so that if I'm bench pressing, this is the lowest level of my bench. And if I ever drop the bar, it just hits this and it doesn't hit me. And it's the same for squats. So if you're lifting by yourself, it's really important to think of this and to think of safety first. And if you ever get in a questionable situation, you just drop the weight. It's that simple. Okay, now, as far as your spine is concerned, you start to get heavy. Weight vest, or a weight belt's really important. So when you put the weight belt on, the weight belt has to be cinched on really tight. So you put it on really tight like this. And people misunderstand. They think that the weight belt, because it's around here, it supports your back like this. And this is absolutely wrong. The way that a weight belt helps you is through intra-abdominal pressure. So when you expand your chest and take a deep breath of air and hold it before you lift, the pressure in your abdominal cavity rises tremendously, okay? You get what's called the Valsalva effect. But anyway, this intra-abdominal pressure, normally without a belt, it just pushes out against your stomach wall. But with the belt, the intra-abdominal pressure can't push out in front, and so it actually pushes back into your spine, and so it supports your back from the inside out, not from the outside in like a lot of people think, but it's from the inside pushing back into your vertebral column with intra-abdominal pressure. It's just like air pressure in a balloon. You push in a balloon and you get more pressure in the back. And so that's how it helps. And so I'm going to show you a warm-up set now with just an empty bar. We're going to take a look at the position of the bar on the shoulder. So the first thing that you do is you always face the rack, and you step in under the bar, and you take the weight off with both feet. You expand your chest, and you pinch your shoulder blades together, and then of course you step back to squat. Now I want you to look carefully at the position of the bar on my shoulders. You can see it's resting on the trapezius muscle. So the bar should be resting on your trapezius muscle. It should never touch your spinal column. It should never touch a single bone of your vertebrae. Okay? It rests across the upper part of your back on your trapezius muscles. All right, you step back, and then I use a block of wood under my heels, and usually I'll start warming up like this. I never had to do this before, but I found too, as I've aged, there's been a loss of flexibility, so I have to work my way down into the regular squat position a little bit more slowly, like this, okay? And this is the full squat position, like that. Okay, now I'll show you another set with a little bit more weight.